So this week is the post-Labor Day, kind of winding down the selling part of the year. And a lot of my stores went into, they had a decent Labor Day, a pretty good August. But now we're going into, what do we do? We're going into the slow time of the year. What do we do now to keep up momentum? So anybody who's been in this business longer than 8 years, they definitely know that this is the slow time of year, and they plan for it. They don't take as much in allocation for units. They plan accordingly around, hey, what sold last year at this time, what the current market's doing. Everybody's winding down EVs, and the EV potential for the EV credit, well, it is going away, unless you're in California, where there's rumors that Newsom might spark a EV credit for just California dealerships and California car buyers. But despite all of that, the proper training of the sales staff that you have to account for this time of year, it by far surpasses any level of marketing that you want to do. So, and what I mean by that is, it's very difficult to train into a salesperson who's been selling for a certain number of years, 3 years, 5 years. If they are not already working their database, it's very difficult to train that into them. They have to pretty much be trained to do that from the get-go. So as salespeople, it's not just about being dependent on what the dealership is spending in marketing, or what their vehicles they're marketing, or who's coming through the door. It's not just about that. You should absolutely, in all way, shape, or form, be working your database at all times. So the stores that I see that truly stand out or that truly win are the ones that are definitely working their database, that have the salespeople that are working their database. The reason there's such a big market for CDPs and automated follow-up and aftermarket follow-up and outside BDC, the reason there's a market for all of that is because salespeople simply aren't trained to do that kind of follow-up. So when back in my day, how old am I? Back in my day, that was a part of your training. You contacted your customers, and I had very good OEM training with BMW, that they were adamant that you have contact with 98% of your book of business, which was mostly leases, to know what they're doing with the vehicle, know what's happening next. And there was certain intervals. So I've replicated that for a lot of the places that I've been in just 3x5 cards. Now there's really no excuse. You could be a lazy salesperson and really do pretty damn well just based out of the CRM. If you set yourself up right, set yourself up for success. So I strongly encourage anybody who is even the least bit, just put a little bit of effort into it. It doesn't have to be a ton of effort, but put a little bit effort into working your database and looking. If you start setting yourself up or have started setting yourself up to contact that person that you sold a car to every year, and you should be contacting them no less than twice a year, once for their birthday and once for the anniversary of the date they bought the car. At the 3 to 4 year point, depending on how long their loan is, you need to start sending them, hey, we're having a really good run on trades right now where we're offering top. And don't lie about it. Don't make it up. Every weekend can't be a sales weekend. I think that's a bunch of BS. I was actually reading a really good post by someone who I admire very much, and she posted that she challenged a dealership because he said, we want our people to always answer the phone. Hey, are you calling about our big sale today? I think that's bullshit. Honestly, just straight up. She thought the same. I just think that doesn't work. If I'm a customer, if I'm calling your store, I'm calling your store because I have an agenda. Either I want a service appointment or I'm looking for information on my serviced vehicle. I don't care about your big sale. So instead of using self-serving lines, AKA, are you calling about a big sale this weekend? How can I provide you with excellent customer service today? How can I help you today? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So I really, getting back to the basics on customer service, long-term follow-up, and just basic greetings. Just there's a lot of stuff that's fallen by the wayside at customer service. It seems like we all forgot how to sell cars or something. It's just a very bizarre environment right now within car sales that I just foresee that's causing, and that's when I have stores come back at me like, oh, well, we're not selling cars. It must be the marketing. No, it's not the marketing. I promise you. It's the fact that you've had 200% turnover in your sales staff. That's what it is. You can't adequately train people if they don't stay for longer than a year. Facts, absolute facts. So if your turnover rate is that high, you have a much bigger problem than your marketing. Now, notwithstanding, there are some places that do really, poor job of marketing, keep it very generic, and don't cater to the customer, don't cater to the dealership, don't cater to the geography. And those all things have to be accounted for. But at the very top of my list, if you're having trouble selling cars, the first thing I would look at, what's your close rate for your internet department? If it's not 15 to 18%, at a minimum, you don't have a marketing problem. Period. You don't have a marketing problem. If your BDC traffic isn't operating at a 50% ratio, at a minimum, and I mean 50% of the people they talk to result in an appointment, 50% of your appointments result in a show, and 50% of your shows result in a sale. If they're not operating at a minimum, the 50% ratio across the board, bare minimum, then you don't have a marketing problem. You have a training problem. You can't go to these people and say, oh, you're all fired, you're not operating at 50%. That's not fair. So I am a huge fan of level setting, training, and then holding accountable. Because if you go in and you fire everybody to a standard or a metric that you never told them was the standard or metric, that's not going to create a good environment at your store. And I'll tell you what, car salespeople talk more than a ladies' sewing circle. So the reputation gets around that you treat salespeople like that, you'll be hard pressed to find good salespeople. And all you'll get will be green peas who will stay just long enough to find another job that treats them better. So the days of everybody's fired unless you sell to your goals or sell to your metric, what are you doing as a leader to provide the training and the skill set and the knowledge that they need to do their job? What are you doing to provide that? And if you're doing all that and then you hold them accountable and they're not doing it, fair enough. But if you're not providing any training, any way for them to advance or grow or encourage their skill sets and their training at your dealership, your salespeople aren't the problem. You are. I'll be very blunt about it. So instead of calling your marketing company and yelling at them, or gathering all your salespeople in the tower so you could yell at them about what a piss poor job they're doing at selling cars, take a good look in the mirror and ask yourself that question. What am I doing as a leader to provide the right training and framework to my team so they can be successful? Because I tell you what, turnover at a dealership is like a cancer, and it absolutely will eventually kill your business until you start investing some time and some money and some training into the people there and grow and cultivate the staff that you need. Instead of just churning and turning them, grow and cultivate the staff you need. Two things will happen. Your sales will absolutely go up. They will increase for sure. Your customer retention will absolutely increase. It will go up for sure. You will never have to find a good salesperson, a good manager, a good team again, because they'll already be there at your store. And you will have a waiting list of people waiting to get to your store. So take that this week as something to go back to the dealership and put into practice and see if you can make it make sense at your store and make it work at your store. That's all I got for this week. Happy selling.